Welcome to today's lecture. Today we are going to learn a very interesting topic in sociolect, that is register, language registers. So let's begin. Let's start with some questions. What actually register means in linguistics? As we know that linguistics studies language scientifically, right? The scientific study of a language means linguistics. And the concept of register is a very important part of linguistics. So, as you know that language is a social entity, right? So language is the property of the society, and we use language in our daily life in oral form as well as in written form. But some question arises in our mind when we discuss about sociolect, we discuss about linguistics and register. Like, do we use the same type of language every time?
No.
The second question comes in our mind that do we use the same type of language in every situation?
No.
Third question comes
No.
to our mind, do we use the same type of language with everybody in the society?
No.
No. So both three questions have the common answer, that is no.
No.
And as the three questions have a common answer, that is no, it means language varies. Language changes. And who changes the language? Who changes the language then? Yes?
आपणच करतो ना चेंज बोलताना.
The speakers, right? As we know that
Yes.
language cannot change itself, right? So speakers vary, speakers change the language. Here the change means what? We change language, right? So the first question answers that we use different type of language every time. The
Yes.
answer of the second question means we use different type language in the
Different situations.
different situations, right? The third question has the answer that we don't use the same type of language with everybody in the society, right? Right? Again,
Yes.
towards the concept of sociolinguistics. What is the answer of the first question? Is language a social phenomenon? Yes?
Yes.
So language is phenomenon, here means part. Language is a part of the society, right? So as we live in society, we need a language. Without a language, we cannot survive in society. Language helps us to develop new relationship. Language helps us to strengthen the bonding. Language helps us to express our mind. So in a society, as we are social beings, social animals, we cannot imagine a life without. Right? We cannot live a life without a language, and it would have a very negative impact on society if there is no language. So, sociolinguistics, this term in linguistics is very important. It, it studies the relationship between society and language. As we know that there is a very deep relationship between language and society. And language and society both influence each other. Both influence each other. Language has its own impact on society, and society also has its own impact on language. So it has interconnections. Language has interconnections with society. That's it, the sociolinguistics. So relationship between society and linguistics is the main focus of sociolinguistics, right? So there is a second question. Language is social. Really? Yes, it is social, isn't it? Right? So the point is that language and society both are so important factors in our life, right? So language and society are the key elements in social linguistics, and the present topic for our discussion, that is language register, is the outcome, is the result of social linguistics, right? It is the result of the bonding between language and society, right? So let's start again with a question, and a very simple question. Let me ask you that: do we speak the same type of language in all daily situations?
No.
The same question we discuss in our side, and the answer obviously is no.
No.
As far as daily situations are concerned, for example, we can take with parents, with lovers, with friends, with teachers, at marriage ceremony, oral examination, or some interview. So list maybe a huge one, right? Because we face different situations in our life, right? So when we wake up early in the morning and till go to bed in the night, we face different situations, don't we? Yes, we face. So this daily situation defines the use of language. The changing daily situation determines the type of language that we are going to select. For example, when we are with our family members, we speak different type of language. And when the situation is changed, and if we have a company of our beloved one, that is a lover, a wife, or husband, our language would change. If we are in the company of kids, children, our language also changes, right? So in the company of close friends, again, we use a changed language. Same is the case with teachers, we use different language. At some marriage ceremony, we use a very formal type of language, right? In oral
Yes.
examination or interview, we again use the suitable type of language, right? So there are many situations in our daily life, and as per the situation and as per the relationship with the people, we use different type of language, right? So this is the situational use of language, right? This is the situational use of language,
Situational use of.
right? So the thing is that we vary our language from one situation to another. Here vary means change. So we shift from one type of language to another as per the relationship. Right? Like that.
Yes.
So why is this then? Why is this? Suppose that if you don't follow the rule of the society or the rule of situation and use the same type of language everywhere, then what would happen?
ते योग्य नाही वाटणार बोलायला.
Will it create some problem?
Yes.
What kind of?
सोशल प्रॉब्लेम होऊ शकतो.
Can it affect the relationship?
Yes.
Obviously. An example?
एनी एक्झाम्पल? आपण जसं फ्रेंड्स सोबत बोलतो तसं आपण शिक्षकांशी नाही बोलू शकत. असं.
Exactly. And if you try to use the same language with the teacher, then what would happen? The teacher would scold you, right?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
For the teacher, right? So the type of language I am using with my close friends, if I use the same type of language with my father, then what would happen? The father probably would slap me. Are you mad? He would scold me, right?
Yes.
The type of language with my wife, if I use the same type of language with my female students, then what would happen? It would create a great problem, isn't it? That's
Yes.
it. The language that we use with kids, if I use that language with my principal, then what would happen? Principal would be shocked. What kind of man he is? He has gone mad. The
Yes.
principal would be told, right? So our daily relationships would suffer a lot, right? And what happens
Yes.
if there is some oral examination? Then what kind of language we supposed to use? Do we use language with the friends over here?
No.
Obviously not. Right? So we change language. Here, change means exactly what? Change means exactly what? That we will discuss in our next slide. So we change language, that is fixed, right? So in linguistics, the register is defined as the way the speaker uses language differently in different circumstances. Simply. Speaker is the same, okay? Me myself use different type of language during my class, during my teaching. And when I have a tea with my colleagues, I use different type of language. But when I enter into the principal's cabin, again my language is changed, right? And when I go out of the campus from some breakfast at some hotel, I again change my language when I speak to some waiter in that hotel, right? If I go to
Yes.
some shop in the market, right, again my language is changed, right? So this change, this shifting is going on and going on all the day, right? So which shift? It is just like shifting a channel, right? We change the channel of a TV, isn't it? So we change the channel of language, we can say that. So this man is coming, oh, what kind of language I should use? Okay, change the channel. Principal is coming, change the channel. Students are coming, change the channel. My daughter is coming, change the channel. Right, my colleague is coming, change the channel. My very close friend is coming, change the channel. Isn't it? My girlfriend is coming, change the channel. Right? Okay. So this changing of this channel, it means shifting of language. Right? So same speaker uses the same language differently in different circumstances. Okay. So we change language means exactly what we do. Yes? What is the answer?
We change words, we change way of talking.
Yes. We change words. We change vocabulary. Oh, fine. Any example, please? Simple example.
Example काय देऊ?
We use different words.
Yes.
Imagine some situation. Imagine some situation. We use different situation. We use different words. We use different vocabulary. A simple talk with mother in the kitchen. Okay. What kind of talking?
Okay.
What kind of words you would say? Hey, mama. You would probably call her a mummy, a mummy, a mom, isn't it? You would probably
Yes.
call your father or daddy or dad or dada like that. Okay? When you greet your friend, hello, Deepa, Gaitsa, Vaisa, right? Deepya, what's up? And when you have a talk with your teacher, then what would happen? What would change? So, do we change? Yes, really we change. And we change means what? We change our vocabulary, we change our greetings, we change our sentence pattern, we also change our tone, right?
Yes.
We change vocabulary, we change sentence pattern, right? Words with a boyfriend or a girlfriend are different, and words with a teacher is different. Words at a shop is different. Words in a temple is different. Words in a railway station is different. Words on a bus stop different, right? So situation is
Yes.
changing, right? Words in a beauty parlor, words in a kitchen, same or not?
No, not same.
Not same, right? Or words in a beauty parlor and words in a doctor's clinic,
Not
same or
same.
different?
Different.
Not same. Will you go to some chemist shop and demand, hello, excuse me, give me a eyeliner?
No.
Illogical, right? Because this is the wrong number, right? And
Yes.
if you go to a beauty parlor and ask for some injection, then she would laugh at you. So
Hmm.
different situation, different vocabulary. So I'm using language in my classroom, so my vocabulary is different. Okay? And me myself with my wife,
Yes.
my vocabulary is different, isn't it? So vocabulary changes. Greetings. Close friends, hey, what's up? Hey, hello, like that. And if senior person is there, if teacher is there, then we will just have good morning, good afternoon, like that. Okay, okay, like that.
Yes.
We are just departing from your family, you would just say, take care. But if you're departing from your classroom, you would say, good day, sir, like that. Okay, so formal and informal type of language, you can call it, right? So again, sentence patterns also change. So different sentence patterns we have for different situations. And tone also changes. Suppose that if we enter into some temple, what happens? Our tone is totally changed, isn't it? If
Yes.
if there is a death in some family, if you go to visit that family for consolation, your tone is changed. Your tone is full of seriousness, isn't it?
Hmm.
Right? So if some person is seriously injured in some accident, your tone, your sentence pattern, your vocabulary is totally changed, right? If that person is having a bandage on his head, leg is broken, it is plastered, then will you ask the question, hey, hello, buddy, how are you? That buddy would
No.
slap you, isn't it? That buddy would ask you, have your eyes broken? See my situation, right? Likewise, what kind of tone you would have? Would you use happy words in the family
No.
where death is just happened? No, you use sad
No.
words, sympathetic, right? And your tone would be
Yes.
low. But if you visit the marriage ceremony of your close friend, then what kind of tone you will have? Do you use serious
Ha-
words? Oh, how sad
no.
you are going to marry.
Happy. Happy to.
Would you say that? Oh, how sad, my dear friend. You are going to marry today. May God,
No.
right? May you rest in peace after marriage. Would you say use that word? No, because we know
No.
that rest in peace has some different applicability. It is applicable in the death during the death of some person, but you don't use rest in peace in Diwali greetings. If you're supposed to meet me, sir, rest in peace, happy Diwali, then it would really affect our relationship, isn't it? Right? So,
Yes.
relationship totally depends on the accurate use of language, and that is why social linguistics focuses on a relationship between society and language, like that. So, different situation means different language we have, right? So, when situation is changed, we are alert. We are alert. Suppose that we are on a journey in some train, okay, and we are sitting beside our fellow passenger. We don't have that much familiarity, right? But let's we just begin a conversation with that unknown person, isn't it? But while using language with that unknown person, we are very cautious, right? We maintain a distance
Yes.
from that person, isn't it? Our tone of voice is totally changed, right? And if that person is a lady and you are a male, again, a gender problem comes over there, isn't it?
Yes.
So gender also affects our communication. Age also matters during our communication, isn't it? Formal relationship also affects our communication. Informal relationship also affects our communication. Our education also affects our communication, right? Our social standard also changes our language and communication, isn't it? So there are many factors that change our language. For example, gender, right? As we know that females and males, if they are unfamiliar with one another, they just what to say, hesitate to break the ice, right? If five gents are there and in that group one lady is there, then that lady would feel unsafe, right? But at a distance, if
Yes.
another lady is standing over there, that lady would go to that another lady, isn't it? So that kind of gender threat affects relationship, isn't it? The language with my male students and the language with my female students, I would change it, right? So gender,
Yes.
kare for boys, karga for girls, right? So while speaking with my female students, I would be more alert. I would be more alert, isn't it? Rather than my male students,
Male
isn't it?
students.
And when a lady converses with a male, she is also cautious about her body language also. She is cautious about her clothes also, isn't it? Distance also matters between a male and a female while communication, isn't it? If male is there or female is there, they would stand close. But if an opposite gender is there, then distance would be moderate, isn't it? That's it. So language is a very strange phenomenon and it is determined by situation. So when we speak, it is not just a speaking, we exhibit our culture also, isn't it? That's why language is called as a culture, right? So we have to show that we are a very highly cultured person, and that is why sociolinguistics studies language with this context, right? So sociolinguistics studies the different parts of language, how language is changed and why language is changed, which are the responsible factors, which are the responsible elements for language change, and which are the situations for language change. It also studies formal and informal way of language, right? So again, let's come to the point that language changes. Language changes. And as we discussed that language changes, here language does not change 100%. It changes moderately as far as vocabulary is concerned, as far as greetings are concerned, as far as sentence patterns are concerned, as far as toning is concerned, right? So today we would have a very situational use of language, that is register, right? Register.
Yes.
Just we discuss this phenomenon, that is social occasion, context, purpose, and audience also, right? So depending upon these factors, social occasion, marriage, and some death, we change our language. Context, right? In a beauty parlor, we use different words, right? In hospital, we use different words. That is context, isn't it? In our politics paper, we differently use vocabulary, right? In the
Yes.
subject Indian writing in English, our context is changed, isn't it? If there is a geography subject, again context is changed, means language will be changed. Then purpose, right? Purpose of your talking. If you are standing at the counter at bus stop, purpose is changed, right? And if you are standing in front of some shop for shopping purpose, purpose is changed, right? Audience, as I told you, if the listener is changed, right? So just a moment. So purpose also changes and language also changes. So in our next lecture, we would concentrate on the theme of register, the theme of register, and we'll see how we change language depending upon the situation. I hope you have understood today's concept, right?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
stop over here.